Hello everyone, this is Robert Radford with 50 Years of Chess. My next opponent I brought you is a guy called Peter Harris. I played him in the 2005 Winter Congress in Bristol. The game was played on the 9th of December in 2005, and I was playing white in this game. And it's the only game I won in that tournament. I had a lousy tournament. I scored one win in two draws. So I scored two, but it was below what I like to get. So let's have a look at the game. I don't really know much about Peter Harris. His rating was about 1625, 1625, and I was 1818 at that time. So I would have been favourite to win, but that doesn't mean a thing. You still got to beat the person on the board when you play them, haven't you? So e4, I played e4, he played g6, very interesting. d4, bishop g7, bishop e3, c5. So this is sort of like the sniper opening, but which is what they call nowadays, but it's basically a modern, what they call a modern. So c3, this is my way of combating this opening. d5, interesting. So I went pawn takes pawn, and he played, to my surprise, d takes e, allowing me to swap queens, and he can't castle now. But that's not always a disadvantage. In the old Indian opening, you can play it. It's very playable. So I played bishop c4, hitting that f pawn, and he pushed it, which is okay, but it's locked his bishop in at the moment. The white squared bishop, he can't get that out because I've got the e6 square covered with my bishop. So I played knight f3. I want to get my pieces out, castled, so on. a6 and castle queenside check. It goes king c7, knight into e2. So my rooks are connected, my pieces are now all developed, and he has only one piece developed at this time. Lots of pawns pushed, but nothing else. Now he's got another piece out, knight c6, knight f4. So he's got to be careful. I can come in with a check. Now he's played knight to e5, hitting my bishop on c4, which I don't want to lose. So we're checking first. He goes to c6, knight b4 check, king back to c7, and now I pin the knight so he can't take the bishop, which is good because it's hard for him to do anything when his piece is pinned. He can't move it at all, it's paralysed. So knight to h6. Okay, that's not a bad move. Knight d5 check again. This time he's gone back into b8. So his king's tucked away in b8, but it's not that good because he's got a rook on a8 which can do nothing. His knight on the rim there at h6 is not doing an awful lot. The bishop and the knight in the centre are the two main pieces that I need to be careful of. They're the ones that are active, the rest aren't active at all. So I take the pawn because he's moved the knight out, so I'm now going to pawn up. And the position as it seems on Stockfish is showing me with a 2.0 advantage. Now it's dropped to 1-9. It's leveled out at 1-9 advantage in this game. After knight takes pawn. So he's attacking that knight now with the rook on e8. So the rook has gone back to d5. And he's put his other knight into g4. So he's got a chance to thwart my rooks here if I'm not careful. So I play rook h2, f1. Can't take the h-pawn because the bishop's covering it. So this is what he's trying to do to now bring the pawns up and make my bishop move. So he's played h6. And I attacked his knight on g4 with my pawn. And he attacked my bishop on f4 with his pawn on g5. So I took the knight, he took the pawn, and then he took the pawn with the bishop. So I still remain a pawn up at the moment. There was a doubled pawn, but it's a good one. It's in a good place. Stockfish is suggesting these arrow moves you see are the moves that Stockfish would play in the game. It's like saying this is what should be played. And I did do that. I played knight to b6. So this is horrible for his castle, which now has to go to a7. It's a really horrible position to be in there with that. So this is nice and comfortable now. I can play the rook up to d6. He's gone bishop to g4. Not sure what he's planning to do, but he's up to something. Right, rook to e1, hitting that pawn which he was protecting, and he's played his bishop back. Oh, that's an interesting move. He played his bishop back to f8. Not only is he hitting the rook, but if I move the rook away, he can go bishop takes on c5 and get his pawn back. So I have to go back to d5 to protect that pawn for now. So he's gone back with the bishop again to f5 to protect that pawn. And I've played b4 to secure that pawn now on c5. Now I can move my rook on d5 if I so wish. He's brought his king out to c7. Bishop back to f1. He's gone bishop to g6. I brought my other knight back to c2 because I want to activate this knight on I want to move it up to e4 and get it in the game. Usually one or two pieces are not enough to win a game. You usually have to get a third piece at least into the game. He ignored the knight to c6, which Stockfish was suggesting, and he played h5. I played rook to d1 from e1, which now means I've doubled my rooks. I've got complete power now. Getting a bit scary and hairy, as they say. So he's gone knight to d3 check. Well, I'm not allowing him to keep that knight there. So I played bishop takes, pawn takes, and then I've played rook check, covered by the knight on b3. So he has to go back, I think. Otherwise he gets checked on e4, which would be checkmate. So he's gone back. And now I played the knight into e4. And he's played a5. He's trying to make some space for his king by playing a5. Probably wants to play rook to a6 and then king to a7 maybe. So I've pushed this pawn on now. This dangerous pawn on c5. Yes, he's playing his rook but a6, but it's not any good. I should have just played rook takes pawn here, and it's checkmate. But I missed it, believe it or not, and I pushed the pawn on to c7 check. But it didn't really matter because I've won this game twice over because Stockfish has given me a 9-0 plus. No, not that even. Anyway, I played rook d8 and my opponent resigned. So that was the end of this game. A little bit of a battle to start with, but gradually I got control of the game, and then it was sort of one-way traffic. But you expect that from being a higher rated player. but he put up a fight, did Mr. Harris. I don't know anything about him. He seemed to stop playing pretty soon after. He'd been playing earlier for a few seasons, and he had a decent grade. He was up somewhere like 1750, something like that. But then he stopped, and then he come back and played a little bit in this Congress, and then it didn't see much of him after that. Played about one game, according to the ECF site. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the game. See you very soon. Bye.